Hey, it's Kristen, registered dietitian at UHS. March is National Nutrition Month, and this year's theme is Food Connects Us. This focuses on the role of food connecting people to their culture, family, friends, and their overall health. One of my favorite memories growing up was making dumplings with my mom. This was a great way for us to connect and bond in the kitchen and to share food with our family. So today I'm going to show you how to make sumai or pork dumplings. So let's get started. The ingredients you'll need are 1 pound of ground pork, 5 large shrimp peeled and deveined, half a box of silken tofu. This is the secret ingredient to make your pork mixture nice and moist and tender. 3 shiitake mushrooms finely chopped, 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic, and half a teaspoon of minced ginger. You'll also need half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, which gives the meat mixture its rich, umami, salty flavor, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, half a tablespoon of Shaoxing cooking wine, which is a type of rice wine often used in Chinese cooking. This is used for marinating meats because it helps tenderize it. If you don't have this, you can choose to omit it. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, which also tenderizes the meat, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Lastly, you'll need dumpling wrappers and egg wash for sealing. First, start by preparing your aromatics. Mince 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. Then peel a knob of ginger and mince about half a teaspoon. Ginger has anti-inflammatory benefits and can be beneficial for digestive health. It can also help with nausea. Chop your shiitake mushrooms into small pieces. I used dried shiitake mushrooms and rehydrated this by boiling them into water, but you can also use fresh shiitake mushrooms from the grocery store. Next, peel and devein your shrimp and chop into small pieces. Shrimp is a source of protein. To a large mixing bowl, add a pound of ground pork, which contains vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Then add the chopped shrimp and half a box of silken tofu. The addition of the tofu helps add moisture to the meat mixture and makes it tender. Tofu is a complete protein because it contains all 9 essential amino acids. Then add the chopped shiitake mushrooms, the minced garlic, half a teaspoon of minced ginger, half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, which gives it the salty umami flavor, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, half a tablespoon of Shaoxing cooking wine, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. The cornstarch and the Shaoxing cooking wine helps tenderize the meat. Add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then break up the tofu using a spoon and mix until all the ingredients are thoroughly combined. Now it's time to assemble the dumplings. Start with 1 dumpling wrapper at a time. You can also use wonton wrappers if you can't find dumpling wrappers. Keep this covered with a damp paper towel to prevent them from drying and cracking. Then brush the edges with egg wash. I find it easiest to use my hands. Add 1 teaspoon of the ground pork mixture to the center of the dumpling. There are many different ways to wrap dumplings, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 different ways. The first one is sumai, which is a type of steamed dumpling that looks like this photo here, and it has the meat exposed on top. I start by making an OK sign and then placing the dumpling on the center of that and letting the meat sit in the hole of the OK sign. Then using your hands and fingers to squeeze the sides and try to make pleats. It doesn't have to be perfect, but gather the dumpling wrap so it surrounds the meat. Then I tap this a few times on a flat surface or plate to make sure the bottom is flat, and then fix any sides to make sure the meat doesn't fall out. And that's how you make sumai. To see it one more time, you're just placing the dumpling in the center of your hand and squeezing using your OK sign, and also using your fingers to push in the sides as well. If the meat starts to come out from the top, you can flatten this using your fingers as well, and then patting the bottom to make sure it's flat. The second dumpling shape is more of a traditional shape where it's just folded in a half moon with pleats or folds. Start by adding about 1 teaspoon of the filling to the center of your dumpling wrap, and then you'll want to fold this in half. And to make the pleats, you'll push up with your thumb until it's raised, and then flatten it out with the other thumb. This makes folds into the dumplings, and it gives it that pleated half moon look. And when you're done folding, it should look something like this. For a simple dumpling shape, if you're having difficulty wrapping, you can just take the meat mixture, put it in the center, and simply folding it in half into that half moon shape and pinching all the edges to make sure it's sealed with the egg wash. If making the sumai, these have to be steamed just because the dumpling wrap is not completely enclosed, and if boiled, the meat will fall out. Place the sumai in a steamer. You can line this with lettuce so the bottom doesn't burn, or you can line it with parchment paper like you see here. Then cover with the lid and steam for about 12 minutes until the meat is no longer pink. For the half moon shaped dumplings, bring a pot of water to a boil. Then gently lower the dumplings into the boiling water. When you first add them, they will sink. After about 12 minutes, they should float to the top and look like this. That's how you'll know that the dumplings are done cooking. Now it's time to serve. Your sumai should look like this when they're done cooking. You can top with optional garnishes of chopped green onions and chili oil. And then the boiled dumpling should look like this at the end. Again, topping with any of your favorite garnishes. You can top with light soy sauce for less sodium, chili oil, and I like to also add sesame seeds. Again, happy March and National Nutrition Month. This recipe shows that food can connect us through our friends, family, and culture. I hope you give this recipe a try and enjoy it with others.